Honesty, passion, experience. It's Timberwolves Explosion hosted on the Paladino Live Network. And now, your host, Paladino Joey. Hello again, Timberwolves fans. Are you ready for the explosion of Timberwolves basketball? I am your host, Paladino Joey, or Joey Awajan. Timberwolves Explosion is available on all of your favorite podcasting apps. And I thank each and every one of you once and always for downloading and listening to this show. It is a great pleasure to be back on board with you once again today, despite the circumstances. I hope everybody had a happy New Year. I probably said this 1,000 times. New Year's not really my thing, but whatever. It's just a day closer and more days closer to going back to work, which, bleep that. Anyhow, but also a bleep that is the roller coaster ride we've been on with the Timberwolves the past week or so. Obviously, you had that up and down game with Denver. You go down by 20, you make the ferocious comeback, clutch shot of the year from Anthony Edwards to force OT, ride the momentum to a 9-point lead into overtime, blow it, and everybody's pissed off like you wouldn't believe, including myself. I was losing my mind. Anthony getting kicked out and all that, Anthony Edwards and whatever. And then you follow up by just sleepwalking and getting destroyed by Brooklyn. And then you absolutely annihilate the Bulls by 35 as if it was 1999 or something, like after Jordan left and the Bulls were awful. It was kind of like, it felt like that Bulls team on that night. And then you follow up again. You follow up that game on New Year's Eve in Atlanta, going back to the Brooklyn Nets garbage. So I don't know. And then you get some interesting quotes after the game. I'll get to at least one of them by Rudy Gobert and Anthony Edwards walking off the floor with a little bit less than 8 minutes remaining in the Atlanta game. Just bleep this. Like when Finch was like, "Yeah, we're pulling the starters. You guys are not serious at all." Anthony Edwards just kind of walked off and no comment after the game. Surprise of the century. So yeah, everything's right with the Wolves. Not.
Are you kidding me? It's not his ball. Gets better. Are you serious? You gotta.
And the headline of the Rudy quote, "Do we care?" That's probably the perfect headline for this episode. Do we care? Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. Do they? Because you ain't winning bleep playing like this. It's impossible. Playing Here We Come, wahoo, wahoo. We get to dance with the teams like Atlanta and Chicago, basically. The Atlanta-Chicago versions of them over in the West anyway, because Atlanta and Chicago like to dance around on the other side of the league. And I don't know, it's annoying. I don't know what to tell you. Timberwolves are in third place still at the moment. 21-13, it's like a decent record and everything. We're 8 games behind the Oklahoma City Thunder, but so is everybody else practically. Yeah, we're 2.5 games behind Denver, and that's not helping or anything. It's ugly stuff. Playoff standings, let's look at that real quick. The Wolves will be the 6th seed, so we're not quite in the play-in just yet, but we play like we do against the Phoenix Suns earlier in the season anyway, and we'll be playing in all right. Otherwise, we would match up with the Denver Nuggets in the first round at the moment because the Spurs are the number 2 seed. Wow. But number 2 seed doesn't necessarily mean all that much because look at Houston last year. They couldn't even get out of the first round. So we'll see what happens. I do think the Spurs are a bigger threat than Houston last year. Oh, yes. I think, of course, the Houston Rockets, as you're seeing the score flash on the screen right now, they actually took care of Brooklyn. They beat them by 24 points. But Brooklyn's playing well. I don't give a crap. You don't sit down and play like garbage like that at home against the Brooklyn Nets. But Brooklyn's playing. Shut up. That's my response to people telling me that. And they're out there, believe me. They're out there. Oh, yeah, they're smarter than me, dang it. Well, fine, you're smarter than me. Go you. Anyhow, the Wolves wrap up 2025 with a thud. Not a bang, a thud. You open up 2026. Well, let's see, we got 3 games to review. 2 that totally sucked and one that was, it was too easy, basically. We're going east. We are going east or playing the east basically for quite a while here. Looks like we're going to play the entire series, like the 2-game series with Miami, entire series with Cleveland, so to speak, but we'll only preview one of the Cleveland games, the home away type of dilly, as we like to call it. So, what is it? 3 games to preview, 4 games to review, 4 games to preview. Miami, on the road, Washington on the road. Oh boy. Miami at home and Cleveland at home. Okay, so, yep, that's how we open up the calendar here in 2026. And to me, that's what I see New Year's Eve. We're just flipping the calendar. I don't think there's really a whole need for the reaction people give it. But that's my opinion. If you have a different opinion, good for you. God bless you. Bless your hearts and all that good stuff. The Brooklyn Nets, bless their hearts too. They came into Target Center, and you might as well call it the No Network, because that's what the Wolves were. So if Brooklyn and the New York Knicks play on the Yes Network, the Wolves play on the No Network. Because did they win? No. Did they show up? No. Did they play well? No. Just all no's across the board. Porter Jr., is that Michael Porter? I do believe. Yes, small forward, Denver Nuggets formerly. 27 points, 10 rebounds in the game, 4 assists, Garnett-ish numbers, you could say. Yeah, and is he anywhere near Garnett, at least what we'd like to believe? No. Nick Claxton has been rumored in Wolves conversations. Well, I'm not sure what the Wolves are going to do. There's names out there, Nick Claxton, Darius Garland. I'm a Garland fan, but the one thing is, so should I get to the trade proposal now? Yeah, I'll do it real quick. Well, it's not a proposal, it's an idea. It's a trade idea that maybe could be a proposal too. Darius Garland comes to the Timberwolves. Julius Randle. Rob Dillingham. Why am I blanking on the third person? Oh, man. Julius Randle, Rob Dillingham for sure. And a pick swap. I do believe there was a third player, but not superly significant from what I remember correctly. But Julius Randle, Rob Dillingham, and a pick swap. That might be it for Darius Garland. I swear there was one more player included, but it was like a lower end guy, and it was not Johan Berenger. That probably is it actually. I'm just getting confused. The third person is a pick swap, basically. So whoever's got the better pick, Cleveland would get it, basically, one way or another. So it's like yes. Which is cool, I guess, I suppose. And, yes, I would do that. It's just, again, you'd hope to God somehow we could get Nick Claxton also somehow, some way. How we do that, I'm not 100% sure. Maybe some kind of moves involving Dante DiVincenzo and someone else. I don't know. Might as well move on from Shannon with the way he is gone. But I guess he's out like up to a month or so with a foot injury. It sounds like he had no business playing. I don't know what we're doing here. I don't know what we're doing. It's like a combination of nonsense. Like everything with the organization like changed with that stupid Denver game. It feels like, at least all of a sudden. And of course, there were bad habits always there. Cracks in the foundation, so to speak. We've all kind of watched this team this season and been like, yeah, they played pretty good there. Oh, they did not play good there. What the heck? Is this team serious? No. Okay, maybe they are. No, maybe not. No, they're definitely not serious. It's just back and forth, ups and downs. Yes, Cam Thomas returned for the Brooklyn Nets, and oh my God, they're the Brooklyn Nets of the making back-to-back NBA Finals. Yeah, sure they are. 30 points for Thomas off the bench. Yes, he played well. To his credit, he played well. I'm stunned when I look at some of these numbers on the Brooklyn side, because it felt like everything was going in the game, but not necessarily. Demon, 1 of 8 from downtown. Clowney was clowning around on the outside, 1 of 7. That's awful. 2 of 15. They only shot 27% from three-point range. 11 of 40, but 55% overall, because in the paint, the Wolves were getting their asses handed to them, which again comes back to is Julius Randle. I'm beginning to think quietly people are wondering what's going on with Julius Randle behind the scenes. Where the defend? Yeah, where the defend, right? Where is the defense? Yeah, because we're getting hammered down the middle. Rudy Gobert, 1 minute he looks like the best defender in the world. The next minute, I don't know, is he? Something's not right, because guys are getting in the paint. And that does start on the perimeter, by the way. When players drive the lane, it could be a shooting guard, a small forward, a point guard, driving the lane and scoring points in the paint. Not every point in the paint is by a 7-footer or a 6'9" or whatever the heck. It's not always by a power player, power forward, or center. It could be small forwards driving to the basket, or so on and so forth. So it starts with the perimeter, but also finishes with the interior. And both sides are playing awful defense, for lack of better words, without cursing my head off. It was a bloody awful game, mate. It was bloody awful. Donnie DiVincenzo has no business playing any point guard or anything, even though his assist to turnover ratio has been fantastic. 6-1 here. Julius Randle, 11 assists versus the Brooklyn Nets team, but he shot 4 of 15. His offense and his defense has sucked hardcore in the paint recently. Rudy Gobert's offense in the paint has been mediocre at absolute best, even for his standards. And I mean his standards, a guy who averages about 11 or 12 a game, mostly on extremely close range dunks and putbacks, which we appreciate when they happen. Thank you. Jane McDaniels, I don't know, somehow it feels like something's changing with him a little bit. His defense is kind of fading a bit. Good game offensively, 7 of 11. We appreciate that. Made the only three-pointer he took. It's like some of the numbers are okay, like 42% from outside, and the Nets shot 27. Yet we still got pretty much hammered and destroyed down the in the middle. It's like we were kind of polar opposites in a lot of ways. The Wolves were awful overall from the floor, about 44%. That's not good, man. Whereas the Nets were 55% on the floor, just kind of not executing like simple plays. Like how do you keep missing these? What's wrong with you guys? And poor shot selection as well. 2 of 7 from downtown from Anthony Edwards. 3 of 6 for Donnie DiVincenzo. Respectable game offensively, but defensively, I don't know, guys getting around him, kind of a mess. Minus 22 in the game. I don't know what to tell you on that one. Minus 22 ain't going to get it done. I know that much. Jalen Clark is missing everything he takes, and it feels like his defense is starting to get figured out a little bit. Bones Highland, mediocre at best. Dillingham, I don't know what to tell you. He did get 7 points, but out of 1 of 5 shooting, that's awful. Thank you for making all 4 of your free throws. Baron J got the little cup of coffee, about 2 minutes out there, and was a +2. Anything else? No. Zhuzheng got his 3-point shot. Thank you very much. And his cup of coffee. Johnny, Zhuzheng? Yeah, thank you for making that shot. That was great. Other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, the play sucked. That's how the play was. It sucked. It was horrendous. And what I don't understand is you see these DNPs and such. Well, Conley didn't even get in. Coach's decision. How about that? But they're showing Shannon, Freeman, and Zakarski as if they kind of were not DNP at their like 0 minutes. What are we doing here at Yahoo? They're acting like Yahoos. I don't know. Yahoo Sports is funky, but I still use it all the time. It's like I'm hooked. It's like I'm hooked to it versus other things because I don't know. I'm just so used to using Yahoo Sports. I've been using it pretty much the entirety of Timberwolves Explosion and the other sports podcasts that I do, Purple Mafia and Brave the Wild. I just can't put it down, I guess. But at 123, 107, there we call it butt kicking by the Brooklyn Nets. Yeah, it was a butt kicking. It was awful. It was lousy. It was boring. Questions. Anthony Edwards after the game basically said something along the likes of similar to what Rudy Gobert said after the Atlanta game. Like, do we care what's going on? It seems like I guess this is Timberwolves basketball with a shrug and kind of like a sarcastic smile. Like, what the hell is this? So yeah, pretty much. And then I guess the other side of Timberwolves basketball. We're at the top of the corkscrew now at Valley Fair. The top part right before you go straight down. Yeah, the corkscrew or the wild out. There he goes, Anthony Edwards walking up the court. Replay here on one of these. I don't know. It's depressing, and I can imagine his frustration. That was Atlanta. You know where Anthony Edwards is from? If you haven't heard 50,000 times already, he's from Atlanta. His dad was there. He looks. Yep. His dad was there. Looks older than you'd think, doesn't he? But I'm not going to talk about how somebody looks. I apologize. Especially Anthony Edwards' dad. I might get destroyed here. Donnie DiVincenzo, 3 assists, 0 turnovers, so we appreciate that. Julius Randle, 14 assists. This is the Bulls game, though. 6 of 11, 17 points. Like, Randle, I don't know what's going on. I don't know. Is he hurt? Is he tired? I don't know. Is he back to smoking weed again? I don't know. Because that's what he talked about, how his in and outs in New York and other places. He was smoking weed and stuff. So I don't know. I'm not a fan, by the way, of that. No, one way or another. Like in how he got off it, I was a fan of it. Now he actually talked about it, which nobody would do, because everybody thinks it's so cool in this day and age. I don't get it. I guess, as Dan Barrero says, I guess smoke them if you got them, but doesn't mean we agree with it. It's just like whatever. I guess. Baron J, a little bit deeper cup of coffee here, about 6 minutes. Well, 5 minutes and 45 seconds. Rob Dillingham was one of those guys, too, that didn't play until the garbage time. Managed with 5 points. Baron J with 2 blocks and 3 rebounds and missed 2 field goal attempts. I'm not sure what's up with that. Make him, man. Leonard Miller, 3 points. Thank you. Chu Zhang, 2 points. Naz Reid with 33 points off the bench. And again, it's kind of like, and Naz Reid again is a roller coaster as well. Like, what's going on? Like one game he's spectacular, the next minute I'm not so sure. And what is kind of scary about the, as much as I want Darius Garland, I apologize. As much as I want Darius Garland, gosh, the only big guy besides Gobert would be Naz Reid, wouldn't he? And of course, yes, you do have Baron J. And are you ready to play Johan Baron J? Because you're going to have to, or Leonard Miller. Those guys need to play if you're going to trade Julius Randle away. And maybe if Julius Randle is becoming kind of a funky person behind the scenes, maybe you should make the move. But otherwise, up to just like 2 weeks ago or less, Julius Randle felt like an absolute gem on this team the whole season. So it's kind of sad that we're heading in that direction already, all of a sudden here. Bones Highland, 12 points off the bench. The Wolves bench was absolutely spectacular in this game. Even Jalen Clark with 11. So you have 33 for Naz. You had 11 from Jalen Clark to make it 44. You had Bones Highland to make it 56, and then of course Conley to make it 58. I guess in almost 18 minutes, Conley managed just 1 basket and 1 assist. That's kind of weird, but he did add a steal as well. He's just kind of there, I guess. Maybe a defensive presence and guiding players around, like navigational purposes, I guess. Anthony Edwards only attempted 13 shots, wound up with 23 points. So extremely efficient and an easy game, just easy peasy Japanesey. It's so easy, guys. Kobe White only managed 6 minutes, got hurt here. Giddey only managed about 18 minutes. People wanting to maybe trade for him, I guess. I don't know. We'll see what happens there. I don't really want Kobe White. I think he's kind of he's a tweener. I don't think I want Kobe White. He's just kind of Dante DiVincenzo style, isn't he? He's one of those kind of guys, a scoring stuff, scoring combo guard kind of guy. I don't know. Vucevic only 5 rebounds. That's kind of weird, but then again, whatever. This game, there isn't all that much to say other than the Wolves kind of kicked butt, and it was wonderful, and the Bulls kind of no-showed for Billy Donovan. So, unfortunately for him, 16-17 on the season are the Bulls, as they continue to be very mediocre, to say the least. I don't know what's going on with the Bulls, but they're very mediocre, and it's frustrating, It's a bullshit. Okay, pardon my French. That's not going to go good with the FCC, but it is what it is, It's a bull crap. There we go. That's more semi-appropriate, you could say, for us here in Chicago. But anyhow, to Atlanta. Hotlanta. Their original hockey team was the Atlanta Flames. One of the coolest hats and logos of all time. Reaching. Of course, you can't see it because I just don't do video because I'm not pretty enough for you. Unless I wear this hat. But Atlanta Flames. No, have you ever heard of the Calgary Flames? Yeah, they moved to Calgary. Cool name idea. There's multiple stories to where the name came from because it's Hotlanta. Ultimately, I do believe it was Civil War related, though. Atlanta got burned significantly at one point during the Civil War. Burned. So, yeah, let's move on from that. But this Hawks team did the burning. The Wolves got burned. 126-102. It was Brooklyn Nets on steroids. Like, seriously? But Anthony, forgive my word salad, I talk too fast on this show sometimes. Yeah. I do. Anthony Edwards, 30 points. 10 of 18, 3 of 8 overall from the floor, playing in front of his dad and probably many others that knew him, and of course for many years there in Atlanta. He stayed in Georgia, playing for the Bulldogs, who did not win last night versus Ole Miss. Great win for Ole Miss, by the way. I'm not even a college football fan pretty much at all, but the quality is definitely higher when you get to this level, so it's like I can at least catch bits and pieces of the games. Nice to see Ole Miss doing something. Nice story there. Nice to see Ole Miss doing something. we'll see how they go. Definitely, that was an exciting win for them, winning the Sugar Bowl. But anyhow, so Georgia did not win in that case, but the Hawks absolutely did win over the Wolves. Another butt whooping in the paint. The Wolves shot 35% from downtown, which is three-point range, of course. 42.5% from the floor overall. Naz Reid, awful, 2 of 10, following up a 33-point performance in Chicago. Just 2 days later in Atlanta, Georgia, 2 of 10. Donnie DiVincenzo, 2 of 8. Rudy Gobert, 3 of 6. Oh, yeah. Okay, well, he got 11 rebounds in less than 29 minutes. Not too bad. Jaden McDaniels is starting to look like that guy who's kind of rotation starter-ish. Okay, I guess he's a starter. Only 21 minutes in the game. Well, 21 and a half. 8 points, 3 of 5. Not like bad, but something's just, I don't know, something's just not all there. Bowens Highland over 7. What in the devil is that? Thank you so much. Mike Conley, 14 and a half, 2 points. What the devil is that? 0 assists. He's just kind of there. He just exists. Is that mean to say, or is it just being honest? An even steeper cup of coffee, 4. We'll go on Beranger. Rob Dillingham, again, getting just kind of, you just get the garbage time, Rob. Sorry. Steep cup of coffee, though, this time. 8 minutes. Well, just under 8. Leonard Miller with 7 points. Hey, there you go. They need to, that's the thing. That's the thing. I know they're garbage minutes. Garbage, as Mr. What was his name? Marv Albert used to say, the classic garbage time. Yes, that's what it is, the garbage time. That's a great shot. Yes! Okay, sorry. Rob Dillingham, completely out of the rotation at times. Sometimes he's in and sometimes he's out. I can imagine that's driving him nuts. I don't know. I'm down about that one. But it did take a couple guys. You look at some of these other players that ended up becoming pretty good. Even Darius Garland took a while, didn't he? Was that Darius Garland that took a while? You look at his early... No, that's not him. That's someone else. I forgot who it was now. Pretty prominent player. His first couple of years, it was like 2 points a game, 7 points, and then, okay, here we go. Why am I forgetting who it was? It was somebody I was looking at not that long ago. It's a couple of days ago. And somebody that maybe the Wolves could go for, like a point guard type of player. But where am I going with this? Yeah, I mean, so that's the hope that Dillingham is still, there's still something coming. And I would like to believe that. But let me tell you about this steep cup of coffee thing right here. I'm holding one right now. It's about half full. Slightly less than half full. And yes, being in Atlanta, Georgia, lemon and tomato juice. Oh my God, it's so good. You don't know how good it is, especially if you add celery salt, which I'm adding a little more here. But the performance doesn't deserve a lemon and tomato juice, but just the Hawks uniforms deserve a lemon and tomato juice. The Atlanta Flames hat deserves a lemon and tomato juice, and the Hawks deserve it too for playing really well in the game. But the other point I'd like to make that has been kind of made a little bit, if guys are playing like dog dookie, like just no showing, Leonard Miller, Johnny Juzang, you're in. Period. Why? Let's go, Finch. God bless you, Finch. I am still not on the Fire Finch bandwagon. I'm not. It's going to take more. It's going to take more. If this keeps up, it might warm up a little bit. I might warm up to that idea a little more, but I'm not there yet. Yes, guys like Juzang and Miller should probably be playing. They should probably be playing, especially if guys are playing like dog dookie. Julius Randle didn't exactly play terrible, but again, at the same time, I don't know, 7 of 13. Something's missing, like only 7 rebounds in 32 minutes. I don't know, that's kind of weird. Anthony Edwards clearly cares. Other guys, I'm not so sure. I don't know. McDaniels, Randall, I don't know. Highland 0 of 7. That's garbage. Like, come on, Highland, what's going on? It's lowland there. But yeah, Beranger, Dillingham, Miller, Juzang all getting the 7.52, and Anthony Edwards waltzed right off the court. He literally threw the towel, like throwing in the towel, and left. Chris Finch after the game was saying, that's basically like that's a no-no. You need to be out there rooting for your teammates. Kind of like whatever that part means, rooting for your teammates. I don't know if guys are really rooting for their teammates or just kind of being respectful and still being there. It's a lack of respect thing that is not good. It's just kind of one of those, NBA no-nos. You just don't do that, especially as a leader. That's kind of That's very questionable at best. I'm not ready to turn on Anthony Edwards or anything, but that was frustrating, and I can understand his frustration with how crappy the game went, and plus the fact it was in Atlanta, and the Wolves have had some crappy games in Atlanta for forever, pretty much, going all the way back to when Mookie Blaylock was there. It's been bad. The Wolves always get beat by Atlanta. I remember Dominique Wilkins tearing us apart, but of course he was one of the best players ever when healthy. Poor guy. Second half of his career, he had the Achilles and such, and was just too bad. But Miller and Juzang probably should be seeing actual rotation minutes, especially if guys are bleeping around. Conley should retire. Mike Conley should retire. Yep, and the Wolves need to make a change, or we're screwed. Mike Conley should retire, yes, and the Wolves do need to make a change, significant change, like you bringing in a Darius Garland or whatever, Colin Sexton, something needs to be changed. And I know it's not just to make just making a trade to make a trade, but make a trade that can make this team better at the end of the day without completely giving up the farm. You will have to give up something and someone and maybe multiple someones to get there, but we'll see. Would love to see Johan Berenger get some more minutes and become something, but of course he's so raw. It's like I don't even know what to tell you. Miller, this is his third season, and Juzang for Utah, yes, the garbage team that played basically no meaningful games last year, scorched the net pretty good for them, and I think he could scorch the net for us a little bit too, even if it was just 12 minutes a game. Like, what the heck do you have to lose having Johnny Juzang out there? And Leonard Miller is a skilled player. Let's see what he can do. There's skill there, and either that or include him in a trade. And I think he might have been the other player included in that Cleveland trade. That might have been him, which again would be funky, I guess, because that's another taller guy going out. But we'll see what happens. I don't know. Otherwise, yeah, Berenger should get minutes and such, especially if that were to take place. I might even be willing to part with Jalen Clark, which might be like a cardinal sin to some of you if it meant getting like a lead guard here in Minnesota that could really change things. So, yes, let's get to the quotes here. Rudy Gobert from Ryan Eichten, because I'm looking at the IECH, I'm thinking Rich. Ryan Eichten. Gobert on games like this happening so often. Do we care? Does something happen when we played the first quarter tonight? Does something happen when we... Okay, I'm reading this incorrectly. Does something happen when we, like... What the hell? Okay, I think he's just kind of having frustrating words. He's just talking funny. Does something happen when we played the first quarter tonight? Or is it just cool? Or is it just cool, make a lot of money, we play basketball, do what we do, and go home and be happy? And then he's like, I think that's the fine line between a team that's playing for a championship and a team that's full of talent but doesn't accomplish shit. There, I'll just say the word, or bleep. But, yeah, I agree with that last statement. I think that's the fine line between a team that's playing for a championship and a team that's full of talent but doesn't accomplish bleep. And I think we're on the wrong side of that line right now. A team that's full of talent but doesn't accomplish anything. I think that's where the Wolves are at right now. And I don't know. I do think the changes need to happen as well. I think the roster is unbalanced, and the lack of a lead guard is not only hurting the team but killing the team right now, I'd have to say. And I don't think that's the only problem. Do we care? Yeah, that's a good question. Do we? Or are we just kind of making money and... I don't know. That was what the Wolves' problem was many years ago when the team never won anything. When I started doing the podcast around that time, that's kind of what that team was. They didn't care at all. They had some talented players, but didn't even come close to the playoffs. And I remember hearing about, they love to party. They love to party, huh? Can you take yourselves a tiny bit seriously? And unfortunately, sports is filled with that kind of BS. That's what's wrong with a lot of people. They get all happy with themselves because they're making a lot of money, but don't really accomplish anything, anything really meaningful other than where's the party. And that's always bothered me about really anybody that has some kind of financial success. Seems like that's all they care about is screwing around. So disappointing to say the least. With that said, long first segment again, but usually they are. And there was a lot to say here. The Lone Wolf Award winner for this episode, I guess it's Anthony Edwards. Walking up the court, you know what? Nobody's getting it this week. Nobody's getting it this week. Walking off the court, I think that definitely cost him that in a big way. I'm sure he cares so much about me saying that, but no, that's kind of it. There is no Lone Wolf Award winner for this episode. The Johnny Flynn Memorial is almost everybody. I mean, hell, and I know that's kind of being lame and all that, but I don't know. I'll have to give it to Julius Randle. He had just something is lacking with the guy, and I hope he gets his head out of somewhere. It seems like somehow, some way, whether they listen to the show or not, and I'm guessing there's almost no chance that Timberwolves players listen to Timberwolves Explosion, but I wouldn't doubt somebody's accidentally happened upon it once or twice over the many, many years of this show's existence, being one of the oldest shows in Minnesota. That somehow, some way, whenever I give people significant players Johnny Flynn memorials, they tend to come out and show up. And similar things tend to happen on Brave the Wild as well, when they get the James Shepard memorial. So, yeah, we'll see how this turns out. Hopefully, Julius Randle comes back firing next week. With that said, we'll take a quick break and preview the upcoming games. And we are back here on Timberwolves Explosion, segment number 2. Sorry, a little bit of noise in the background, but my wife's getting ready to get going here. So, anyhow, where am I going with this? Yes, the upcoming games. Yeah, you might want to get to that. The Miami Heat. Oh, boy. Well, Miami Heat, 2026. Sometimes you open the calendar, and this happened last year and other years, I think. It goes straight to April. And don't do that, doggone it, but today it didn't, at least, but say when you open it the first time. Wolves versus Heat, the season opener, so to speak, and then the season finales next week, because it's just 2-game series. The Heat are 19-15, fairly competitive. They're hanging in there, despite all kinds of big-name players coming and going over the years. As you could just, the list is endless, going from, you could go on forever, all the way back to Glenn Rice and Ronnie Cycli, all the way up to, to Alonzo Mourning, Tim Hardaway, to Shaquille O'Neal, guys like that. Shaquille O'Neal, Dwayne Wade, LeBron frickin' James and Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, and then, even had Lamar Odom mixed in there with Sean Marion. You had, it's crazy. The names that have come and gone in Miami is unbelievable. You had Jimmy Butler, and he's gone now. So who's the star player on the Miami Heat now? I don't know. We'll get back to that in a second. Injury report, Terrence Shannon Jr. Injury reserve, on Christmas Day officially. Foot. Zion Pullen, wrist on Jan 2nd, day today. The Miami Heat side of injury report. I'm going to open it up because it might be, it's only 4 guys. Well, it's only, right? Nasir Little, day today undisclosed, Jan 2nd. Terry Rozier, injured reserve, not injury related. Okay. Jan 2nd. Pili Larson, sounds like an NHL player. He actually does. He sounds like he'd play left wing for the Columbus Blue Jackets or something, or the Florida Panthers or something. Day-to-day ankle. Pili Larson with 2 S's. That's why I'm saying, Pili. Sounds like a hockey player. December 29th. Tyler Hero. He sounds like a guy who, he's had his moments, and he's hurt a lot too. Injured reserve toe as of December 16th. What did I just do here? Well, record that. Just kidding. Okay, that was an extra window that popped up. Go away. Don't go away angry, just go away, right? That's the famous saying. What just happened here? Okay, my apologies. Miami has won 4 in a row. Good luck, guys. They've been tearing through people. Oh, boy. They beat the Hawks pretty good. They destroyed Indiana. They destroyed Denver Nuggets. Wow. Well, of course, what's-his-name got hurt, though. So that's a thing. What is he, out a month with a knee injury? They got lucky there. People are like, oh, God, it's an ACL. He's never going to be the same. Well, this is, of course, the Cyclops, also known the Cyclops, a.k.a. Nikola Jokic. I call him the Cyclops because, well, he looks like one with two eyes, I guess. And they beat the Detroit Pistons as well. Miami's been playing super good. They got killed by Toronto a few days before Christmas, and ever since then it's been pretty harsh on the positive side for the Heat. Comparisons, offense, the Heat are 4th, the Wolves are 12th. Field goal percentage, the Wolves and Heat are just about the same, 13th and 10th. They're only like a tiny percentile away from each other. 3-point range, the Heat are 6th, the Wolves are 7th. Wow, 0.2% away from each other. 3-pointers made, Miami's 21st, the Wolves are 11th. Assists, the Heat are 7th, the Wolves are 12th. They're ahead in a lot of stuff. Rebounds, the Heat are 6th, the Wolves are 17th. Turnovers, they're tied at 13.5. Blocked shots, the Heat are ahead again. No, they're not ahead. They're way behind. The Wolves are 8th, the Heat are 20th. And assist to turnover ratio almost even. The Heat are 9th, the Wolves are 10th. Again, this is a 2-game thing coming up here Saturday, 4 p.m., the afternoon coming up in Miami. Interesting. And then Tuesday night coming up, Wolves will host them in Target, or Target Center, as some people would call it. Powell has been leading the club in scoring. Norman Powell's been pretty damn good, just like Jalen Johnson with the Hawks, emerging really nicely. He's having a hell of a run. Tyler Hero's only played in 6 games, but is averaging 23 points a game. Norman Powell has definitely emerged as the star. 24 points a game, 4 rebounds, 1.5 steals, about just under 3 assists, but he does have 2 turnovers a game, so he's kind of all over the place there. 40% from outside, 48% from the floor. Pretty good. Bam Adebayo has been a hell of a player for years. He doesn't even average a block a game though, which is weird. I thought he was better at that. 17 points, 9 rebounds. Andrew Wiggins is coming back a bit. He's having a little bit of a renaissance, up to 16 points a game now, 16 and a half. 3 assists, 5 rebounds, which is, coming back again to where he was with Golden State. Had some good moments there, much to my chagrin, but it is what it is. Nikola Jovic, you could say the miniature Jokic, I guess. 3 assists, 8 points, 8.5 points, 4 rebounds. Kind of a role player there in Miami, but it's a decent team. The Wolves should be the better team, but I don't know. Khalil Ware has been wonderful, about 4.5 or 10.5 rebounds a game. He's been leading the club in that category. So, and he's averaging about 1.5 blocks as well as Andrew Wiggins is averaging over 1 block a game. Good for him. That's pretty good. Andrew Wiggins is averaging over 1 steal a game, so providing some defense and some rebounding. That wasn't really there earlier when he first got to Miami. In his last few games or his last year or so with Golden State, he started reverting back to the, Andrew, are you there? Anybody there? Wolves on the road in Miami has typically been not so good. We've had some good games there. I don't know what to think. I actually think the Wolves are more likely to win on the road than at home. They've had some real doozies at home. But some of these East Coast trips have been bad. West Coast trips have been... Everything's just been funky this year with this team. So I don't even know where to go with this Miami back and forth here. I don't even know. In Miami, the Wolves win. Against the Miami Heat. Anthony Edwards shows up with 40, and the Wolves get the job done. Final score, something along the likes of... so we'll end their winning streak. Something along the likes of... 125 to 120. It'll be a pretty darn good basketball game, but the Wolves emerge victorious, pardon me. Washington Wizards, there's no excuse here. Don't be screwing around. Don't play with your food. Sunday afternoon, 8-24, January the 4th, 8-24, Washington Wizards. Injury report, if we can pull that up here. 5 guys. First, Juan Holmes, who's been a good rebounder over the years, day-to-day with a shoulder, as of Jan 2nd. Yoli Childs, any relation to the former point guard of the Knicks, I'm not sure, Chris Childs, day-to-day ankle, Jan 2nd. Lutz Williams, day-to-day hand, Jan 2nd. Keyshawn George, injured reserve hip, December 27th. Corey Kispert, injured reserve hamstring, December 23rd. Cam Whitmore, injured reserve shoulder, December the 20th. All right, so... This is, I don't think we've played them yet this year, have we? Yep, 120 to 109 victory over the Washington Wizards in Target Center on November 19th. Wolves are playing a lot better at that point. 5 p.m. game. The Wizards have won 3 out of their last 5. Crushing Toronto. I don't know what's going on with the Raptors. They're either kicking people's butts or getting their butts kicked. And then the Washington Wizards scraped by the Memphis Grizzlies and beat the Bucks by 1 point on New Year's Eve. So funky loss for the Bucks, I'm sure, in Milwaukee. I'm sure they weren't too thrilled about that, but they're all over the place. Comparisons: Wizards are 12th in scoring, 20th in field goal percentage, 15th in three-point percentage, 20th in threes made, 21st in assists, 16th in rebounds, 24th in turnovers, 2nd in blocks, 6 blocks a game. And then assist to turnover ratio, they're 25th. This is the rubber match. I do believe the Wolves will sweep the Washington Wizards, even though this reeks of trap game, but I think the Wolves win both of these games. And I sure hope they do. C.J. McCollum, though, has been a Wolves killer historically. Yes, he has, particularly with the Pelicans and even the Portland Trailblazers, actually. Going back to the Blazers, the Wolves passed on him in the draft, and he's been torching us ever since. Kind of like Jamal Murray. Kind of a Jamal Murray type of game, but, with more of a light. Jamal Murray light. I hate Jamal Murray, but I love him as a player, but I hate him against us. Same with McCollum, 18.5 a game. He's actually stayed healthy this year, so knock on wood and give him a little hand there. Alex Sarr has had ups and downs. Not bad, though. 8 rebounds, 17.5 points. McCollum's averaging 38% from downtown. Keyshawn George, not Keyshawn Johnson, just kidding. Almost 41% from downtown and 15 points a game, averaging 5 assists and almost 6 rebounds. Pretty good. Trey Johnson, 41% from downtown, 12 points. Marvin Bagley III, 43% from downtown. So, nice. The block shots, Alex Sarr is averaging about 2.5, and he's the guy leading the way there. Otherwise, a lot of other guys are kind of chipping in, blocks here and there, including Koulibaly, averaging just under a block, and Keyshawn George averaging just under a block. So, but Alex Sarr has been blocking and blocking. Wolves will beat the Washington Wizards. Final score along the likes of maybe I imagine lower scoring. 108 to 100. Wolves will win by 8 over the Wizards. It'll be kind of like, why didn't we do a little better? Playing the Heat again in Target Center, I got a feeling this is one of those games the Wolves screw around again at home. So I have the Wolves not winning this game. I wished I could. But the Heat will win the game. And the final score, kind of a funky one, 128 to 115. It'll be like annoying. Like, what the hell was that? That's kind of where I feel. But if the Wolves can sweep the Heat, then go us. Cleveland Cavaliers have a similar record to the Miami Heat, 19-16, way down from last year. Remember last year they were up there where Detroit is. It's kind of like Detroit and Cleveland kind of switched places a little bit. Donovan Mitchell's averaging almost 30 points a game, though. He's been a Wolves killer at times, almost 6 assists. Darius Garland, future Timberwolf, I hope. He's played in 19 games. Obviously, he was recovering from surgery during the offseason and into the regular season. About 7 assists and 17 points. 36% from downtown, as I like to call it. Only 41% from the floor, which is not too great. Donovan Mitchell's averaging almost 50% from the floor, or Evan Mobley is averaging 50%. 18 points, 4 assists, and 9 rebounds. Pretty good numbers there. Lonzo Ball is still alive. He's on Cleveland for 25 games this year. Wow. 5 points, 5 assists, and 4 rebounds. Okay. Wouldn't mind him as a backup. Chris Livingston? He's still alive. 3 games for him. Interesting. Huh. Wow. Larry Nance Jr., yep, former Cleveland Cav. His father, anyway. He's on the Cleveland Cavaliers right now, sort of. 16 games, 15 minutes. Injury report real quick here. Sam Merrill, day-to-day, the ankle. Let's see if we can get his up here. Sorry. Ooh, my God, that's a lot. And that's why they're way down. Wow, that's a lot. Let's go all the way back to the bottom. Max Struss, injured reserve foot, has been out since August 26th. Larry Nance Jr. out since, injured reserve calf since November 29th. DeAndre Hunter since New Year's Eve, illness. Sam Merrill, day-to-day ankle, Jan 1st. Justin Powell, day-to-day concussion, Jan 2nd. Chris Livingston, that's not the same guy. Is it? No, it's not. I got it mixed up with somebody else. I think. Yeah, I do. I'm going crazy. Jan 2nd, knee, day to day. Brandon Goodwin, day to day foot. Jan 2nd. Malik Newman, Jan 2nd, out, undisclosed, is more appropriately said. A winnable game for the Wolves, and the Wolves should go 3-1 this week. They should. They should go 3-1. I'm not sure how it's going to go. This is the season opener between these two, and then, of course, we'll be playing Cleveland once again very soon on Jan 10th. The Cavaliers have won a couple games in a row, beating the Spurs and the Suns. Impressive. After getting beat by 17 by Houston, just barely lose to the Knicks, and they got hammered by the New Orleans Pelicans at home. What the hell? That's weird, but that was 5 games ago. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Did I read up the comparisons? I don't think I did. Points, Cleveland's 12th. Field goal percentage, 10th. 3-point percentage, 7th. 3-pointers made 11th. Assists, 12. Rebounds, 17th. Turnovers, I'm looking at the wrong team. I'm losing my mind. I'm sorry. Points scored, 8th. Field goal percentage, 18th. 3-point percentage, 22nd. Wow. 3 points made, though, 4th, because they shoot too many. That's basically what you're hearing there. Assists is 9th. Rebounds, 10th. Turnovers, 6th. Pretty good protecting the ball there. Block shots, 12th. And assist to turnover ratio, 6th. So, yeah, good point guard there. Guy by the name of Darius Garland, who I wouldn't mind leading the Wolves. I want to believe the Wolves win this game and go 3-1 this week. Somehow I'm positive. I got a feeling this team's going to respond to a crappy week. They'll just drop they'll drop one of the Miami games. I think the Wolves beat Cleveland. Final score something like, I don't know. What was I looking at here? What kind of games have they had? They've been up and down. Yeah, it'll be lower scoring. Final score about 111-100. The Wolves win by 11 points at Target Center, coming up on January the 8th. So there you go. Wolves go 3-1, get up to 24-14, which wouldn't be too bad. We'll just have to see how it all turns out. But it'll be nice to be back to 10 games above 500 again, if that ends up being the case. With that, we'll take a quick break and come back for fan interaction. And we are back here on Timberwolves Explosion, segment number 3, fan interaction segment, and it's alive this week. I love it. So Tanae was the only one, I believe, that retweeted the most recent episode. Vince Germano may have, I'm not sure. So that's I understand, probably pretty busy, but great to hear from Tanae again. He'd been kind of out of the picture of late, and be really busy with things and all that, and Christmas and New Year, all that stuff. But great to have Tanae back in the fold here, coming in out of New Zealand. He said, what was I? I think I tweeted out something and he's responding. Okay, yep. I was like, how does everyone feel about this team at Christmas time? Because I posted it so darn late. That was the thing. But yeah, at least I got some responses eventually. Because guys are probably like, oh, he tweeted. Oh, okay. Danae says, it's frustrating because anyone we could trade for would deplete our team in other areas. Yeah, like say, we lose, like we'd lose Julius Randle and such for bringing in Darius Garland. Like we'd be small up front. We'd be really good, on the perimeter, but smaller up front. Tanae continues, says, Gobert is back to Defensive Player of the Year form. I can't even see us trading him anymore. Tim Conley seems to be unafraid of taking a swing, though. Be interesting to see the team in February, and I agree. I think that about sums it up. That it's going to be, something's probably coming. Just like again, the Wild are probably one more trade on the way, but I think the Wolves, something significant is coming. I think I was swearing about the Nets game. I was saying this team deserves to be booed vociferously and for several seconds straight. I'm humiliated by this game. And yes, that's what Anthony Edwards is also saying. They booed us and we deserve it. So, he did say it after that Nets game. Tanae says, felt like a trap game going in. Showed so much immaturity against Denver. Yeah, especially at the end. And I was saying, it's depressing. Yeah, totally. Benzo from the Bronx says, good morning. Good morning, good people. We are decent, but I still feel a trade is needed. I agree, Benzo. don't think the team paid Nas all that money to come off the bench for long, and our point guard situation is crucial to us cutting down all the turnovers, especially in the clutch. Make it happen, Tim Conley. Yep. I agree. Make it happen, Tim Conley, and I do believe, they do need to make a significant trade for a lead guard. Hopeless Wolves fan chimes in and says, responding to Benzo, I'm going to argue the Wolves need a backup rim protector more than a point guard. But that's my 2 cents. Interesting. It'd be nice if we could have both. Yeah, see, like that's where maybe a Colin Sexton maybe would come in the picture. Benzo says, I'm with that too, especially if we trade, let's say, Julius Randle. Yep. Unless we unleash Johan, because having all these young guys not playing is hurting them and their trade value. Yeah, yep, Rob Dillingham, yeah, but Leonard Miller, Johan should be in the trenches with the made men already. Yep. Yeah, they need to be playing. Looks like there's a hopeless Wolves fan. My hope is the Wolves go find a legit backup center by moving off Rob and a second-round pick or something similar. The bench needs size and defense. Julius and Nas simply cannot be on the floor at the same time with Rudy. Yeah, that would be funky, wouldn't it? Rob and Lenny are not NBA caliber going too raw yet. I'd like to believe Rob and Lenny are NBA caliber. And yes, I do understand Baron J's probably still too raw, yes. I'd like to believe there's something there with Leonard Miller. And, of course, Mr. Rob Dillingham. Rob Dillingham should be an NBA player, don't you think? Like, you don't think he's NBA at all? Looks like that's all for this session of fan interaction. But, yeah, Hopeless Wolves fan, yes, good thoughts. I mean, Benzo, great to have you, all three of you, Tene, Benzo, and Hopeless Wolves fan. Great to hear from you guys, all from different parts of the world here. Our country in this case. But Tene from New Zealand, Benzo from the Bronx, that would be New York area. And a Hopeless Wolves fan, I do believe, is local. Not 100% sure, but probably is local here in maybe the greater Minneapolis area here. But no, great thoughts from all three of you. Differing opinions, which is totally fine. So I'm still on the point guard thing, but I totally understand you don't want to gut the middle, because then talk about points in the paint. Holy cow, people are going to be scoring on us even more. It'll just get worse and worse, and then the Timberwolves would not be scoring points in the paint at all. So it's a very interesting situation, to say the least. The team definitely needs a trade, maybe two. Might need 2 trades going forward. And teams aren't just giving guys away. That's the other thing. Occasionally a team might be semi-willing to give a player away, say if they're kind of starting over. But we'll have to wait and see how that all turns out. When all is said and done. But great thoughts. Really appreciate that. The team definitely needs improved. It definitely needs work. Obviously, the effort department is an extreme frustration. But also, again, the unbalanced roster and, I don't know, the lack of a lead guard is extremely frustrating. But also, the lack of something in the middle also is frustrating, like a little help in the middle. And unfortunately, Baron J is probably too raw, though I wouldn't mind seeing him get some minutes. Maybe I don't know, 8 to 10 minutes a game, and then we'll see if there's more and more, if he continues to show signs of development, and then maybe 12 minutes a game. Slowly but surely. Oh, maybe 15. Oh, okay. And it just keeps growing and growing eventually. Whereas, maybe in a year or two, he becomes closer and closer to starter minutes. That's what we could hope for from Baron J, because I do believe he has a wonderful future in this league. And I don't think I'm alone in that category. With that said, thank all of you so much. I hope you had a Happy New Year. Hope you had a Merry Christmas. God bless all of you. Do please put a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts or Spotify if you're able to. It would be really helpful. If you're even able to write a short review on Apple Podcasts, it would really help get this show with the algorithms and such. Tell your friends about the show. Continue to share it, retweet, share, let your friends know about it, and family members that care about basketball and the Timberwolves. It'd be greatly appreciated. Thank you again so much for listening. God bless you, and we will see you in a week.